Hi, Michael Cole here. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to have the first of many conversations together. This one's going to be all about you and me working together online with one thing in mind: to explode your pay. Every idea henceforth that we're going to be having a conversation about is going to be growing your income on a daily, weekly, monthly, and most importantly, annual, yearly basis. And you know what? It makes no difference to me how much you're currently earning. If you're earning $15,000 a year, let's take you to $30,000. I'm talking about take-home pay. I've taken tens of thousands of stylists from their first 15,000 to 30, and then at 30, heck, let's see if we can bring you to 45 or 50. A $15,000 to $20,000 pop in 1 year. If you're already at 50, let's crack 75. And then the all-time. I love to watch this happen, where you and I are working together and you start making an assault on the infamous $100,000 barrier. There's many people that I coach now that have broken into that arena. Every conversation we're going to be having, growing your income. Now, there's a couple other ideas I want to get out of the way before we jump into the pool, and that is I'm going to be working with you online the same way I would work with you one-on-one when I visit you in the salon. And here's why. It's the only way I know how to coach. The only difference is we're online. Now, there's a couple of roles I want to take on as we're having the conversation. I want to make sure that we're clear about it. I'm going to be your coach most of the time. And that's real simple as far as I'm concerned. It's about me teaching you the next great idea to explode your pay. And then where you come in is you start taking action on the idea, or I'll call it practice it. And the intention is that you would develop skill on the idea, because it's the skill that's going to explode your income. Now, many of you have been hanging out with me for a while. That might be about you and I reaching into your archives and taking out a skill that you haven't used for a while. Let's renew it. Let's refine it. Let's empower it. Let's put it back to work. And here's why. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Now, there's another real important role that I'm going to take on, a conversation that's very different than coaching, and that is there's times where I'm going to be your mentor. That's a different conversation, my friends. That's all about helping you to identify and overcome any fears that tend to get in our way in taking the action that's going to explode our income and change our life for good. Now, there are some common fears. The biggie is fear of failure. We're going to have conversations about setting a goal to take home another 10 to 15 grand a year. Some of us don't like to have that conversation, frankly, because we're afraid of what we're going to do to ourselves if and when we fail. We feel like a loser. We're going to help you overcome that fear if that's relevant for you. The other is some of us don't like having conversations where we're asking our guests to take home product, to try a new service, to send in a referral, to rebook a visit, because we're afraid they're going to say no, and then we're going to feel creepy. We're going to feel rejected. I'm going to help you get over that fear because that's in the way. The other biggie, probably more common than most of them, is I'm afraid I'm going to feel guilty. There's something about a conversation with my guest where I'm asking them to spend more money. Deep down inside, I think they're spending too much now, and there's something about convincing them to take home product or whatever it is, try another service. It makes me feel guilty, and the fear of guilt keeps me from taking action. Can you see now where fear gets in the way? And then the all-time classic is, I'm afraid I'm going to look stupid. I'm afraid I'm going to sound stupid. I'm afraid I'm going to feel stupid when I'm taking on these new actions. Those are very sacred conversations. I want to have them with you, and I want to mentor those fears out of you. Couple other points I want to make, and that is, as we're having our conversations, I think there's a resource that's going to be very useful to you, and that is if you're already using the Summit Guest Planner, have it out in front of you during the conversation, especially when you go back to ground zero and you start taking action. Because many, many times we'll be taking a look at the ticket before it shows up so that we can get real clear of what kind of actions we want to take, what kind of conversations we want to have with our guests when they come in. The other resource that I think you'll find to be useful is Over the Top, Best Kept Secrets of Top 20 Stylists. Many of you have this text. There's going to be ideas that we're going to be talking about, frankly, that after the online conversation, like increasing your service ticket. I just got an example here where you can go and take a peek at some script and some other verbiage about how to take action. So those are two resources I would suggest if you have them out in front of you. If you don't, consider getting them. So there it is. We're docked, we're locked, we're ready to rock. Let's get together on the next conversation to start making the dynamite go boom. See you on the next one.